All right. I'm gonna do a little bit of a rant, a little bit of a TED talk. So bear with me on this. This has to do with arrows and broadheads and companies and all that kind of stuff. Now, all my buddies, everybody that knows me, everybody who's seen me post in Facebook groups, not that I'm anybody who's, a bigwig or anything like that in the hunting industry, but I want to start by saying this. I am always extremely supportive of the companies that I use, the brands that I use, however you want to put it. I'm very positive. I am not sponsored by anybody. So I'm paying for all my products, all my gear, all that kind of stuff. And that's where a lot of this frustration comes from. If I were getting these things half off or free or whatever, probably wouldn't care as much. But, man, I don't even know. I'm mad. I'm just gonna start with that. I'm mad right now. I'm pissed off. So for the last 3.5, 4 years, probably about 4 years now, I have been running the Valkyrie Archery system. So what that is, if you don't know, that is frankly a top level arrow and broadhead system. It's designed to fit together. You can't use other broadheads with the arrows. You can't use other arrows with the broadheads. So it's an entire system. I will say this. The product is exceptional. It is top notch. I genuinely think it's one of, if not the best hunting arrow systems out there. I will start with that. I have been extremely happy with the product. I run a high poundage bow that shoots very fast. I also happen to like a heavier setup. I want my arrows to blow through a deer like it's coming out of a freaking crossbow. I want 2 holes. I want a big blood trail. I want maximum carnage. That's what I want, because I want a clean, fast, ethical kill. That is what turned me on to this company. I was pointed in their direction by a very good friend of mine who has been a mentor of mine since I got into archery. I trusted him. I still do. Again, I've been extremely satisfied with the product. So that said, I run a 250 spine arrow. I was running their 55 grain half outserts or collars, whatever you want to call them, and a 180 grain broadhead. I initially was running their fixed 3-blade broadhead, the short ones. Then I switched to the long ones last year. And then this year, I decided to try out their hybrids. So I needed more arrows, and I wanted the hybrid broadheads. They're death switch is what they're called. So I ordered half a dozen arrows. They cut them to spec. They glue everything in. They do everything for you. And I ordered 6 broadheads because I run a 6 arrow quiver. So my OCD wants me to have 6 arrows and 6 broadheads in there. Well, I received the arrows. First thing I noticed, lining them up with my existing arrows. One, they were not cut to the length as my previous arrows, and I literally sent them the exact same order. So that was frustrating. It was only off by a 1/4 inch, so not the end of the world, still usable in my opinion, but annoying nonetheless, considering I'm paying $180, $190 for 6 arrows. Second thing, I ordered them with white fletchings. So actually, let me back up. I initially ordered with a different color. I can't even remember. I think red or orange, something like that. The owner called me, said, "Hey, we're out of stock on those. Would you be okay with white?" I said, "Yup, perfect. My existing arrows are already white. That no problem. I didn't care. It's just color on the fletching. Doesn't matter. Doesn't change the performance." Then they show up and they're green, and I'm like, okay, I guess I'm using green. Again, it's a color. It doesn't matter to me. It's not the end of the world. That is not going to piss me off. I kind of laughed about it, honestly. I was like, okay, we literally had a phone conversation about this, but whatever. Props to the company owner for calling me. But, I got a chuckle out of it. I will supplement this information in. This order was placed in July. It is October 30th. I still have not received my broadheads, and that is why I am so angry right now. I have one usable, functional broadhead from them left, and as I said, you cannot just plug and play another company's broadheads. That it won't work. They're not compatible. Trust me, I've looked into it. I have emailed multiple times. I've called and left a voicemail. I have sent Instagram DMs. I have gotten 0 response. Now, when I spoke to the owner about the fletchings, that was last week of July, first week of August. It was shortly after I ordered, like within a week of me ordering. And he said, hey, I'm waiting on a component for those to come in. I'll have them on their way in no time. I go, okay, my season starts October 1st. Any reason why they wouldn't be here before that? He said, nope, not at all. They'll absolutely be there. Cool. Again, as long as they arrive before October 1st, I don't care. My bow's already sighted into that system. Didn't need to worry about it. Literally just throw the broadheads on and go. So yeah, it is October 30th. I am a month into my season. I have already killed a deer, a buck. I do not have my broadheads. I have one functional broadhead left. Angry is an understatement. So why I am thawing out right now and warming up is because it is October 30th and I just had to go out in 40-degree weather and re-sighted my bow. 40 degrees and raining. So that automatically is not fun at all. 40 degrees, windy, raining, had to re-sight in my bow with completely new arrows. So I am not only did I won't say I wasted money on the new batch of arrows because they're usable, but I will say that I wasted it because now I can't use those new arrows because I have no broadheads to go with them. And field points during the hunting season are pretty damn useless. So I then had to go and because I'm not getting a response and I can't get a hold of anybody, I had to go and order a completely new arrow and broadhead setup. So you can imagine I spent $300 on arrows and broadheads, and now I have to go spend another couple $100 on new arrows and new broadheads in the middle of a season, mind you. So I'm not trying to be a Karen here, and I'm not trying to be a jerk, but I think any hunter who is as particular about their setup as I am, or any hunter period for that matter, would be upset about that. I am very, very particular about my bow. I am very OCD. I had that thing dialed to literal perfection, as micro adjusted as you could possibly get. I was shooting quarter size groupings at like 90 to 100 yards. And I'm not a professional archer, never taken an archery lesson in my life. So I was very happy with how tuned I had the bow. So regardless, I am now throwing up, for lack of a better way of putting it, I'm throwing up the middle finger to that company. I'm not happy. I'm in sales. I've said that in other videos. I'm in sales. I sell stuff for a living. That's how I make a living, like they do. If a customer is trying to get a hold of me for weeks or months and I'm not responding, I lose my job. Now, I understand that this is a small company, and maybe there could very well be a logical reason why they haven't sent them to me. But communication is everything when you're a small business and when you are selling stuff to a consumer. If I order something on Amazon and it doesn't show up and I put in an inquiry as to why I don't have it yet, I get a response. Now, I understand Amazon is a multi-billion-dollar company, but they're also shipping millions of products per day. So if they can do that on a microscopic scale in comparison, I think that a company like this, I'm gonna request a little bit of accountability here, and just be like, hey, a phone call, an email response, something. I'm gonna send another one. I've now asked for a refund through the Instagram DM. I've asked for it previously in an email. I'm going to send another one, and if I don't get a response, I'm gonna escalate it, and I don't know, report them to the Better Business Bureau or something. I don't know. I'm not happy about it. I'm really pissed. So now, new arrow, new broadhead setup. I am going to be running the Easton Axis 4mm arrows. I really like that micro diameter. That's why I went with Valkyrie in the first place. And I am pairing that, dropping from 180 grain broadhead to 125. I am blowing through deer like they're not even there with that 180 grain, so I don't think a weight reduction of 60, what is that, 65 or 55 grains is gonna catastrophically impact my penetration at all. I'm still gonna get a pass through. I'm not worried about that at all. So I'm going down to 125 grain broadhead. I'm going to those arrows, and I am switching to the G5 Mega Meats. My buddy Levi runs them. I've seen what they can do to deer, and I'm all about a blood trail and a short track job. So that's what I'm switching to. It sucks. I'm really disappointed in the fact that I had to do that. And again, the product from Valkyrie is exceptional. I've highly recommended them to many people. So it sucks. I'm disappointed. I hope everything's okay. I hope there is a logical reason. Small business like that, you have a family emergency or something like that. It could be anything. The problem is I don't know. I don't know the reason behind why I ordered, $170, $180 in broadheads and didn't get them. So, as Kanye West said, I guess we'll never know. So that's my TED Talk for the day.